Okay, so I wanna just start by saying that I'll probably look at this in a month, a year, or 5 years and be like, what are you talking about? But my take is that GRC is easy.
Oh, I don't know yet if I agree. Let me hear why.
So and what I'm again, this is probably a naive way to look at it, but just from my perspective, so and I saw that you ran a company in
Yep.
the helping people with like ISO 27001 and that sort of compliance stuff. So we do a similar thing, and I don't know. I look at the documentation and I look at like the stuff, and I'm like, you're already doing this.
Yeah.
A lot of it, you're already common sense. You know that this is a risk. You
Yep.
know that we need to mitigate this. It's just about writing it, and it's like it's boring and it's laborious, but actually, at the core of it, it takes a while. But
Yeah. You know what? I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you. You
okay,
know what? I have a conversation like this with a couple of my buddies all the time where we say we never understand what does an internal GRC person do that only has one audit a year? Like, what are you doing 365 days out of the year? Because when I show up as an auditor, you're never prepared. So, like, what exactly have you been doing for the last 12 months? And I think we used to have this core value at the startup I ran. Our number one core value was don't take yourself too seriously. I think most GRC professionals take themselves too seriously. So then they make their job harder than what it needs to be. But that's kind of what you're saying, and I think you're right. At its core, it's like you have a documented requirement. You have to write down that you're going to agree to it, and then you just have to do it. And it's like, what's
yeah,
so hard about that?
yeah, and
Yeah,
I think it's for well, I don't know. From talking to people on it, they kind of I think people find it refreshing to hear that side of it more than trying to. My main thing, I think, why I'm like why people maybe choose to go with us or whatever is because I do try and keep it incredibly simple, and that's probably just because I am quite simple-minded, right? And I'm not that technical, but yeah, I think it is a lot of it is quite simple.
yeah, I think you're right, and I think that is probably and obviously like I don't know your stats, but I imagine and I remember when I was doing founder-led sales, what some of the customers that we were able to sign told me the reason why we signed with you is because when I finished talking with you, I didn't feel like this was going to be a very difficult thing to do. It felt like
Yeah.
I was going to be able to accomplish it. Everybody else I talked to told me this was going to be the hardest fucking thing ever. It was going to take 6 months all of this stuff. And I think some of that is like the fear mongering to get you to buy a product or buy
Yes.
versus like, hey man, this isn't that hard. If you just like are diligent, like you can read, your people probably are doing a lot of this stuff. I think you can figure it out. And I think that actually works. So yeah, I'm with you. Like GRC is easy. It's just a matter of like reading what you got to do and then doing it. But I mean, you can also say being in shape is easy because all you got to do is eat healthy and work out. But some people don't do that. A lot of people are like, I'd rather go get a burger from McDonald's versus like eating a salad. So it's like, yes, a lot of times the easiest things are sometimes the hardest to do.
That's yeah, that's a great point. And it's the start that's the hardest, right? Like if you take the exercise example, it's just like it's like if you're out of shape, it is just
Yeah.
that first run or the first it's like it's just so
That initial batch
unbelievably
of
horrible.
soreness, that first bit of soreness after you haven't lifted in a while, that next day you're like, I never want to do this again.
Yeah, exactly. Probably, I guess, GRC is the same, right? Like when you first look at, or if you say you buy the ISO standard or something, or SOC or whatever, like, I'm not as familiar with like the US stuff. So when you go off on your podcast about like FedRAMP and stuff, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about here. But like, I guess if you read that sort of standard.